All right. I'm here with Sauron, the Dark Lord. I think it's a cool commander. I like what it does. It's hard to deal with. So, I just think, before I even talk about the deck, I think this dude is better. Um, uh, I don't know. I think he's just better. Easier to die, but just way more threatening, in my opinion. Especially if you're playing a control deck, where, like, over half the time, you might not even discard your hand to the ability, because you like your hand. So, I don't know. It's just kind of weird, but it's new. It's in a strategy that I like to play, so I'm going to try it. I have a bunch of counter spells, a bunch of discard spells, value planeswalkers, the One Ring with Shield Druid. What was the card? Oh, I think, what are they called? Reckoner's Bargain, and there's another one, Deadly Dispute. I have these in here to have ways to sacrifice the One Ring. I'm gonna try that. These might wind up just being bad or useless. It depends. I don't exactly have many things to sacrifice, so they're kind of hard to use. But if ever I'm in a point where that's a problem and Shieldred's not in play or dead, it would be nice to get rid of this so I don't die. And draw some cards while I'm at it. And actually, this one makes me gain 4, which is probably would prefer the treasure, but um, with that being said, yeah, it is kind of sweeper light. I'm not running the 2 red ones that deal 5 to everything, but if I wind up needing them a lot of the games that I'm playing, I'm gonna probably replace these sack outlets for those. So we'll see. Or maybe just these cantrips that I'm not super hot on. They're cool. I mean, they let you keep sketchy hands, so you don't have to mulligan to 6. But it might not be worth it. Who knows? Obviously, the Scarab God. I love this card so much. You could probably, honestly, there's such little amount of red in this deck. You could put the Scarab God in the command zone and then replace some of the red and make your mana more consistent. It's already pretty consistent, but it's basically blue-black. Yeah, let's see how we do. Like, comment, subscribe, and primarily curious about how often Sauron is relevant. Oh man, a Nicol Bolas hand? Oh man. So, what does this do? Attacks or blocks, sack it, and then it comes back as Disturb. It comes back as a Geist of Saint Traft. Cool. So, aha, my opponent has opt. The joke is on me. Do I even cast opt? Yeah, I don't see why I wouldn't. Or I keep calling it opt. It's obviously consider. That's a pretty good card. That's actually a really good card. No. I think I'm more interested in lands. I'm always killing my opponent's stuff, like, as it shows up. It's just probably a creature-heavy deck, I would assume. This is certainly one of the scarier cards they could play. Let's run this out on blue or black. Blue. I don't actually have a blue. Actually, I don't have any colored mana that wasn't deals damage to me. Okay, I don't really care about this at all, but I'm still gonna Tails End it because I want to spend my mana. My opponent's missing land drops, so less and less of what I do is relevant. I can sort of just do whatever I want because my opponent is missing the old mana. I'm gonna make him discard, and that's it, actually. Oh, there was a counterspell, so I'm glad I did that. I'm surprised they used it. Okay, so I can respect Mana Tithe, but that's not what people do in the industry, right? We don't do that. We don't do that here. It's the 6th land for this, but there's a lot of lands in my deck. I think it's safe to scry lands to the bottom. Also, I'm not really after 6 mana. It's not like I'm banking on that really fast or anything. Okay, that's pretty neat. You know what? I commend my opponent for not scooping. in this very dire situation. This very, very rough, dire scenario. Looks like they have another counter spell. But it can't be... It can't work, right? Because I have 3 untapped. Yeah. I don't know what it could be. Spell Pierce? No, they've already cast Spell Pierce. What could that be? Not Mana Tithe, unless they just top-decked it. Which I don't think they did. Alright, so they can kill Liliana, and they probably will. I mean, obviously. I'm now realizing you can disturb from your... Oh no, they didn't put it to the command zone. It was just in their graveyard. Okay, so I kind of got it. That's kind of neat. Let's see if this works before I choose to do anything. Actually, you know what? Let's see if this works. If this doesn't work, then I can go for the throat. Okay. It worked. Let's play this as a land and leave up Discover the Formula. I don't really want to go for my commander. I mean, do I, though? You know what? Maybe I should. No. No. Let's kill that. I'm going to play as board cleary as possible. I don't want my opponent to be able to play the game. Okay. Yeah. I don't see a reason to leave up Deadly Dispute. This has basically hexproof until they, you know, they could play their commander, land, sword, sack their commander or something. Mr. Landrop too much. Surprising. Well, not really surprising. Their deck has a lot of cheap interaction. I mean, it has to, right? You're trying to get a Geist of Saint Traft into play every turn, so you're doing weird stuff like this. That's a cool deck. I don't know how to change it. I know there's a setting somewhere right here. Well, I mean, okay. Oh, Davriel in the command zone. That's a lot of Davriel we've got this game, huh? Found my own Davriel. Shieldred. Kind of annoying, so is Key of the Archive. This is more annoying. I obviously have 4,000 answers to Shieldred, so... Oh, you drew a castable spell. Oh, they're going to cast this. Okay, I really don't care about that. I'm trying to do something on the Twitch thing, but it's... Now's not the time to do it anyways. I want to see, like, post time, so when I can, you know, look at when people had posted their most recent... Just chat timers would be nice. They did not take Phyrexian Arena, which in my opinion is very strange. Yep. I don't really care about Davriel as long as I'm drawing a bunch of cards as well. It doesn't even kill my commander. A lot of his deals aren't even that scary. It would be kind of cool to see what this can do, though. I call them deals, but I guess you offer, condition, whatever. They're deals. Your spells are cheaper, and I don't know what the downside was. Take damage? I have no idea. It did not show me. Or it did, and I didn't see it. So I can kill it, and they can recast it. I think I'm just going to play my own. I don't really... I'm going to play my own. I'm going to plus it so they can't swing with the Guardian Idol and kill it. Well, opponent knows about Murderous Rider. So... Oh, wait a minute. No, it doesn't work. Shoot, because it has hexproof now, because it costs 1 less. Okay, well, that wasn't on my radar, obviously. But they can't swing with it, at least. Which is kind of... Okay, this is a little bit of an order lull. Probably should have done this first if you were going to do this. Oh, maybe not, because you can draw... Yeah, right. You can draw and then gain life. Alright, never mind. Not as big as the deal as it looked. And they can easily swing now because they have a bunch of cards to discard that isn't just this. Well, that's incredibly annoying. God forbid I ever get to do this. So I found an answer, but all of their threats have haste, so who knows if it's good enough. How does my opponent have something castable? My opponent has Dark Ritual in hand? I guess they have Dark Ritual in hand. They do, yep. So they can play Cityscape Leveler, but that's not really a big deal. 7. No, it is a big deal because they can give it haste. Ugh. Alright. Well, whatever I play dies to this, so I guess the game's over. I don't have an edict in my hand. Can I find something off of this? Demonic Tutor. And then I find something that costs... I can cast something 4 or less. I can find an edict. They're very far from unearthing it, because, well, actually, no, they're not, because... No, yes, they are. The unearth is 8. It doesn't... It's not a spell, so it doesn't get the discount. Alright, my creatures are larger, and theirs, they just gain some life, whatever. Okay. Well, Essence Scatter wasn't a bad draw, but it might not do anything. At least the Davriel Plus is terrible. This is pretty cool. Spells are even cheaper, and then they lose life, which is not really relevant. Okay, well, I'm going to counter that, even though I have a Orc to sacrifice easily to it. This cannot target my commander, right? Yeah. Not currently. Alright, that's kind of spooky. We actually get to use Sauron's trigger here, assuming my opponent... I don't know, if they find Fatal Push or something... I guess I don't, because I amass on the same orc that gets killed. I can't float this mana before I discard draw, right? Because it's in combat. Yeah. Alright, well, easy land. Oh, look, it's heart. Oh, no, it's not Fatal Push. Haha. I see. Either way, extremely devastating. I do not draw 4. My opponent can also block with the Guardian Idol. My opponent did not get Shieldred's Edict to kill Sauron, which is strange. It's actually extremely strange. Okay, well, of course. Yep. Oh, wow. What a surprise. Alright, so I guess I'm just dead. This is a terrible, terrible attack in my opinion, but we're extremely happy to see it. This is an abysmal decision in my opinion. I would never ever do this. My opponent could just sit with Shieldred in play, and we would be kind of screwed, but now we're... I mean, I lost my commander, but... So what does solve the equation do? I'm always casting it. 1, 2, 3. I have 6 mana after the fact. I can find a whole bunch of interesting stuff. Commit isn't bad. Maybe Commit's the play. No, it's not. No. I'm not giving my opponent new cards. I could get a tutor for something, but I could just get this. This is probably the best thing to get here. There's nothing I can find off it that's castable right now, so I don't see a reason to cast it currently. No land. Okay. Okay, well, they certainly have a lot of life, so this is not that scary. I will keep Otawara in my hand. Honestly, I guess I'll keep everything in my hand. These are pretty solid here. Stopping threats before they get haste. I don't want the Plunder, but I kind of want the Liliana. Kind of. It's not that great, but my opponent's not going to let me keep the... They're not going to let me draw, obviously, so... But I'll try the Liliana here. Still nothing. Okay. So, I don't want to go shields down. I'll just put a, like, threatening clock into play. Assuming my opponent doesn't have, like, an act of treason or something for a zombie. I don't know what they could have. That would punish me for doing this. I don't want either of those. Alright, there was 4 lands. We scryed 2 to the bottom and milled 2. Arcane Signet. Alright, that's what they just drew. Oh, man. Whew, alright, so yeah, I don't think it's ever right to go for my commander, because I don't want to tap off of answers. If they play a threat, I'd like to kill it. This, obviously, and then even this, if they found a way to cheat that into play somehow out of the graveyard, I can bounce it. Whoa, that was a crazy, crazy game. I think my opponent blundered by sacrificing Shieldred. They probably should not have swung. I can see the logic where they're like, oh, you know, if I don't swing, they keep this in play, and then the orc can hit me, and I'm screwed. But they had a blocker with the Guardian Idol and a Hexproof Shieldred, so I'm never really hitting them with the... I'm never swinging, right? Like, I can't swing. I'm at 3 life. So I can't tap out and let you swing back at me. So the issue is... I can't even hit them with the orc and draw 4 cards because I'd lose 8 life immediately and die. So it's not even like I can use Sauron's ability. So I don't know. They saw me at 3. They saw a lethal attack. I block 1 of them. I take 2, and then I would die to the life loss on my turn. But if I just block the Shieldred and I go to 1, I'm not dead. And then they have the Guardian Idol in play if I didn't have Dark Ritual removal spell for it, which would threaten me every turn and I'd have to immediately find an answer to. But that's a lot easier than finding an answer to a Hexproof Shieldred. So that was a crazy game to win. Crazy game to win. It's so difficult to do anything that this card wants you to do. Honestly, it's probably better as a Storm Commander, because you can, like, get rid of your hand or something. Maybe some kind of combo deck. A blue-red strategy instead. As it stands, this is just so bad. What is this? Omnath, okay. Okay, yep. They can play Omnath right now, actually. Oh, look, it's the best card ever. Every time. Every time. I told you. I told you. Remember the last video? I said it? I said it then, too. And your opponent's playing Omnath, they will always have Risen Reef. I just finished saying that in the last video. Or maybe there was a video before that one. Every time you're playing against somebody who has Omnath in the command zone, Risen Reef. Risen Reef is in the hand. It's like the best card, and it draws like 40 cards if you don't answer it and stuff. I mean, I haven't answered this game, but sometimes I don't. Sometimes it draws 12 cards. Kind of a weird time to brainstorm, but okay. We have both of these in hand again, which is... seems to happen quite a bit. Like a lot, actually. Alright, the One Ring is really, really good here. Like, really, really, really good. Like, Omega good. Let's just draw now. I could wait. They could have discard spells. Like, they are actually black, so... Alright, Risen Reef has drawn 2 cards so far. They did not hit a land, though, which is massive. Actually, that's insane. Alright, let's play this. Let's play this. Still drew 2, though. Alright, yeah. My opponent missed lands, which... That's why I really... they brainstorm locked themselves. The brainstorm was very strange. I get that you're looking for a land, but if you are, you have to untap and then play your Risen Reef and then brainstorm. So you see as many cards as possible. Otherwise, you're going to get brainstorm locked, like my opponent did. End step brainstorms when you don't have a fetch land is just really, really, really bad. Brainstorm is one of the best cantrips, but it can also be one of the worst. Like that, if you misuse it or aren't utilizing it to its full potential. They certainly could have used it in a different way to see more cards to hit a land. A lot of people like this one. Atali has completely removed Emoti, it seems. Emoti is no longer in the game. Everyone just plays Atali. They're on the play, so let's hope they don't have one of the 4 mana dorks. They don't. Oh. Okay. Well, that's not that scary. Kind of annoying, but sure. Play that and this. Could be worse. When Ragavan's just doing this, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, the treasures are still problematic, but it's not like that devastating. Oh, they actually don't cast the Guardian Idol. Cash in these treasures for like a permanent thing there. Alright, so my opponent won't do it again, obviously, but they have a bunch of other stuff going on at this point. Alright. Let's mess up the old stuff there. They should play Ragavan because it demands that I answer it. Oh. Sure. Do I just kill that? I feel like I do. Maybe not. I kind of want to play this now, but then I'm not leaving up anything. Absolve. We can just cast this, see what happens. Ugh. Okay. Notably, no graveyard from my opponent. Rhythm of the Wild. Okay, sure. Alright, so let's kill... Let's do treasure and... kill that. Okay, so I have 6. I can cast my commander. My opponent's still stuck on 3 mana. And they're not drawing a land next turn, because we know this is coming. Sure. They have to chump block with the Ragavan, or I guess that. So their creatures are uncounterable. I can't get this out of the way, unfortunately. I guess I kind of can, but there's no reason to poke them. Like, I'm not incentivized to hit them, because like I said last time, Sauron, like, I don't want to discard my hand and draw 4 cards. I like my hand. So, I mean, it is what it is. Let's... They have 1 card in the graveyard. I'm going to cast this, and I'm going to pass. Ooh, alright. Take 7, good sir. Take 7. Hey, nice. Alright, top deck the land. I don't have an answer to this, so that's going to resolve. A lot of problematic spells out of my deck for Atali to hit, which is unfortunate. I think I'm going to sacrifice the token here. I don't really need to hit them with it, so... I wonder if my opponent would chump block right now. Probably. Let's find out. Nope, they don't. They want their commander to be guaranteed uncounterable, because that's what this does. Unfortunately for them... I'm going to play this. So they always have to let me draw, because they don't want to die. So we get Time Warp, which is really good. In this instance, I do have a resolved threat. Tali's going to probably get poop out of their deck, but it could get something kind of scary out of mine. If it's a removal spell, they can't target Sauron. They don't have a legendary to sacrifice. Oh, yes, they do. Never mind. This is on resolve, not cast. They got Liliana? I'm literally dying inside. They got Liliana, and they can kill my Nicol Bolas because of, that has haste because of the riot. Wow. That was utterly devastating. Maybe I can scam my opponent. I don't know. We'll see. They minus, I cast Snapcaster, I keep Sauron in play. But they have a Ragavan. Oh, wait a minute. I think I scammed them. I think I scammed them with the Snapcaster. Because they play Ragavan, I can kill it and just hit them in the face. Wow. Or I can take an extra turn. Wow. Oh, jeez. Oh my goodness, dude. Oh, what a game. Oh man, that's crazy. Alright, so I do this. I drown you? Does it matter which one? I mean, let's do it. I don't care about you drawing a card, and GG's. Because they can't block twice. That was crazy. That was an insane hit off of my deck. There are so many counter spells, so many removal spells, and some weird card draw that isn't that great. And they hit Liliana Dreadhorde General, because of course they did. And I still beat it with the scam Snapcaster Mage. I get to keep Sauron. Wow, that's crazy. Let's see, if I couldn't deal with that, do I still swing? I can't because they have 6. Well, I do, and I poke Liliana, right? I swing, or maybe they just like chump block and then chump block again. They kind of have to chump. No, I don't know. Maybe chump blocking makes more sense. Yeah, it probably does, because they have 2 turns to deal with, right? So they're never double blocking, because I have another turn that they know about before I swing. So if I swing and they block, then untap, I swing again, they block. So yeah, I can't swing with this because it's a free block, because they're never double blocking, in case I have a removal spell for the other one and they get blown out. But a single removal spell does it anyways, actually, so never mind. Okay, yeah, it doesn't matter, because that means they can only block once anyways, and I can swing twice. Okay. Which is actually what happened. It's quite literally the case scenario, so. Not a lot of cards there would have been good anyways, honestly. Spell Pierce seems absolutely abysmal in this matchup. But I'm going to keep this. This is just elves. At least elves doesn't have many good elves. If you're playing elves in Historic Brawl, you don't have, like, you know, you have one copy of all the really, really good ones, and then you have, like, 30 really bad ones. So this is not too bad. It's also mono green. A lot of elf decks like the black green stuff. So maybe it really isn't all in on elves. Could be something like Azusa. They play this, they make it big, and then cast a big non-elf out of hand. But that does require a lot of elves to, like, do. Especially elves after you've cast this. So that's probably not what's going on. Of course, they have that. Yep. You got it. Maybe this can scam them. That's what we're banking on, at least. Do I leave up? I think I'm actually going to leave this up. Because if they... Yeah, this is one of the better things to draw. If they don't cast anything I don't want to counter, I can just... use it as a cantrip. Alright, so their commander is far away out of this game. It's very unlikely Spell Pierce will do anything, so I don't really want to pay 3 life to leave it up. But maybe there's merit in that. I actually wouldn't be upset to see a Besage You. It would be nice to get a black source. Opponent is unsure of what to do with their commander, I think. Yeah, they're stuck on their commander. There you go. Where they want to put it. That means I can cast this, right? Tap this black, black, black. 1, 2, 3. Okay. That was a really good draw, huh? That was an insanely good draw, especially against the mono green deck. That's probably one of the best draws I could have had. Yep. That was really, really good. Oh my goodness. They did have Beseiju! They actually had Beseiju, so if I played this, it would have got blown up. That's really funny. They actually had it. Wow. Okay, yep. My opponent realizes that Sauron this early when there's nothing to, like, prevent it from continuously attacking is a terrible spot to be in. Yeah, Dark Ritual just cheated my opponent out of this game. I blew up their mana source and had 3 times as much cheaty mana, and I got there. Yep, wow. Alright, so we took out a cantrip and a sack outlet for Blood on the Snow, Faithless Looting. I think that's better. Oh, and I replaced some mountains with swamps. Counter spells, but you would prefer like Archmage's Charm anyways. Alright, so this is a control matchup, except I have some counter spells and their commander is kind of spooky. Let's see here. Do we like this? I think we like this. They have a lot of answers to my stuff, unfortunately. Like a lot. I wonder if they're playing my list. Let's put this on black. Now, we can put it on blue this game. I have plenty of black mana. So I play this. I almost want to play the One Ring, but I think if I can, like, maybe keep up this memory lapse on something that would... Oh, my opponent missed a land drop. Well, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Alright, well, then I'm just gonna exploit this. Oh. And no. I'm gonna make them redraw that because they're missing land drops. And I'd like to get a card out of this. Alright, so they don't have... They're not even close to killing Sauron with, like, anything except specifically a sweeper. So I think it makes sense to play it. They have Swords to Plowshares in hand, it seems. But they can't use it unless they have a legendary thing in play. That does not count. Also, casting that means I get to poke them. Let's do this. Opponent just gets rid of Swords of Plowshares, that's funny. And another removal spell, wow. Alright, I'm fine with getting rid of my hand, because Brainstorm is like... Yeah, I think I'll just get rid of my hand here. Alright, that probably seals up the game. They can't cast their commander, then they'll probably just scoop. They actually found the second black source right off the top, too. But Snapcaster Mage is going to, Oh, they're not going for it. Okay. Shieldred... Which one is that? The Apocalypse. Alright, they'll probably scoop when I cast Snapcaster. I think this game is over. Think this game is over. I will not discard my hand. I will play this. And I will play this. Good luck. Last card needs to be a sweeper. This one. Okay. Sure. Not enough, unfortunately, but, you know, it's something. Oh, that might be enough, actually. The actual blocker here could be enough. Block, block, block. They take 4? Alright, it would have been enough, but I can just tutor for an answer, and it is now not enough. Can I get Shieldred and kill them with that? Block, block, block. Right, block, block, block. They take 4, and then I cast Shieldred and they're dead. This is a cool card. I've never seen anyone play that. I don't know if it's really that good. Like, at all. But it seemed kind of neat. It didn't really it didn't disrupt me in any meaningful way. You know what? It probably would have made sense to get... No, commit to memory, but no, I don't want my opponent to draw 7. I mean, if I had Shieldred in play, I would, but... I haven't seen this one in a while. Whoa. I don't have much merit, like desire to seek new knowledge right now, so I actually have this going for me, but my opponent's an Esper deck, so not quite. This is actually a really good draw though, or a really good thing to have resolve, rather. I can get rid of Blood Crypt. I don't really need more red. Could save me the 2 life and just play the swamp as a land instead. I don't think there's any double red in my deck. Like, at all. Oh. Okay, sure. Certainly could be way worse. So... I'm gonna play... the... I'm going to play Shieldred. This might make my opponent tap out again on their own turn, and then I can One Ring next turn. As long as I have stuff to play, yeah. No surprise there. Alright, that feels good. I prefer that over the One Ring. Yeah, we want more mana. And they can crew the Bank Buster, so they can poke my Jace. This isn't really doing anything. No land? No land. They chose this over drawing a card. Interesting. They also let me untap with Jace, which is really scary for them. It's like super scary. Still not going to do anything. Do I play Sauron? Sauron's another issue that they have to deal with instead of my commander. So I mean instead of my Jace here. I think there's merit in this. Alright, so they found an answer to Jace. That's fine. This is not a legendary, right? Yep. So they have no answer to Sauron. I don't know what my opponent's thinking about here. Tails ending this? I guess they could, but I don't see why you would. I could have stopped this, right? I could have stopped the trigger with Tails End, but that's not really that great. I actually could have punished them because they didn't play their land before they did this. I actually could have Supreme Willed it. Alright, well, the trade-off for losing Jace was we have Sauron in play, which is probably worth it. Because my opponent's getting the crap beat out of him. I will tempt on Sauron, and I will not discard my hand. Let's play you. So I can cast... They all cost 2 more. 5. I can only cast 1, so I might as well play this. Put it on black or blue? I could just do red at this point, just to be on the safe side when it comes to being able to cast my magic spells. They have a legendary in play, but it is not an artifact or a creature. Opponent's reading the old Sauron here. That has effective hexproof. Okay, so the Bank Buster can block or attack, but doesn't really matter. Key to the Archive. Okay. I can't counter that. Well, no. Let's hope they find... They can cast anything because they have Chromatic Lantern, so let's hope it's some kind of, shoot, I don't even know. I don't care about a Time Warp. Maybe I do, because now they have a lot of mana, and this is getting worse and worse, so I might as well cast it on a Time Warp if that's what they found. They get rid of Village Rites. That's interesting. Oh my god, they did find Time Warp. That's hilarious. Okay. No. They got rid of Village Rites too, which was... Yeah, basically a 1-minute draw too. That's funny, they actually got Time Warp. The reason I'd cast it there... There's a lot of times where I wouldn't counter a Time Warp. But my opponent's going to untap with 2 more mana than they had last go-round. And that means that the Supreme Will is, like, getting, like, really, really bad. It's going to get real hard for it to do anything. It's still a cantrip, right? It's still got the bottom part. But I have this, right? In any instance in which I can poke my opponent with this, I get to just get rid of my hand. So cantripping while you have, like, a discard your hand draw for, they don't really play nicely. So I might as well get my counterspell value while I can, and my opponent scoop because of it. So let's see, would they have lost? This would be a 3/3/10. I have lethal showing, and they're tapped out. So I can Baleful Mastery the token and they're dead. No, I can't. I Baleful Mastery they crew in response. They have a 4/4. So I guess I seek new knowledge. No, wait. Baleful Mastery, and I can Tails in the crew trigger. Okay, so we actually had lethal because we countered. Cool. I had to see, like, pretty deep there, you know, Stockfish. 17 levels deep of the game of chess to find it, but we actually did have lethal with the counter spell. So, I like this deck archetype a lot, and it's pretty good when you're playing in the tier that it places you in. If Xandar is in a higher tier, then you should just play Sauron instead, if that is the case. I don't actually know. I haven't seen a Xandar in like 20 million years, and I don't know, if there's oh, you know what? I should have had this in my deck, huh? Xandar's Lounge. Whoops. 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 Anyways, it's all right. It's all right. There's a lot of instances where you can't hit your opponent with it, and there's a lot of instances, I'm talking about the army token, a lot of instances where you don't want to trigger it anyways when you do hit them, because you're playing a control deck with counterspells and you don't want to get rid of your hand. Like, there was a game where I pitched my hand and it was a bad idea. I got rid of my sweeper and then I lost. I was probably going to lose anyways, but that was just something that wasn't a good idea. Doesn't play too nicely with board wipes because it's a creature, right? It's also kind of difficult to deal with for your opponent. So when you blow it up with your own board wipe to deal with the board, it's like, well, then you prefer it to be Nicol Bolas in the command zone, so that doesn't happen to you when you cast a sweeper. Or the Scarab God, where you can just replay it from hand or whatever, and it never costs more. The One Ring is still just absolutely pushed, and will probably be in every commander deck ever. What wasn't great? I guess Commit to Memory wasn't really that great. The memory portion is just like another version of this, and it's like, well, giving your opponent 7 cards is also bad. I don't have Narset to stop my opponent from drawing or anything like that. I do have Shieldred to make them lose 14, but when is that ever going to happen? I'm going to tell you right now, it's never going to happen. So Commit's probably basically just a 4-mana counterspell that also bounces a permanent. Probably one of the weakest answers in my whole deck. Could go heavier into counter magic. I think their counter spells were pretty solid. Every time I had one, it just felt great, right? Especially the 2-mana ones. But I'm sure plenty of the 3-mana ones are justifiable, especially when I'm not super heavy on red. So double blue is pretty easy. Triple blue is kind of asking for a lot, especially early in the game. That's why Archmage's Charm is not in here. What else? No, that's about it. Yeah, it's just a Grixis control deck. Solid mana base. Some pretty solid mana base. Excuse me. Mostly blue-black, because that's just what happens with Grixis currently in Historic. I'm not heavy or impressed with a lot of the red spells you can run in Grixis control till they print more. But yeah, it's just a Grixis control deck with a goofy commander. It's cool. It's new. You know, we get to see it, but if you want to play this, play one of the 4 other ones, or just drop the red and then play blue-black control. I think that's just a better avenue. But yeah, let me know what you thought about this list. It's still fun to play. I still liked it. Every time Sauron was in play, it felt great. It's not like my opponent could do much about it. Let me know if your Sauron list, if you play it, is any different than this. If you have any suggestions what Sauron should play, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.